Hello, hello.
It's just so welcome to this live stream. We've got the wonderful Elena with me. We're talking about how to change your conditioning in life. We're all conditioned, right? We're all born into this world, and for the first 7 years of our life, our brains are in theta mode, i.e., that's a low frequency of the brain. It's like a subconscious mode, and we're like sponges, and we're bringing in that information. And no fault of our parents or the schools or some schools possibly yes, but we've been conditioned to live and think in a certain way. What we want to talk about in this quick live stream is how to break that conditioning. So we want to get rid of that conditioning, and we want to come out from that conditioning as our true selves to find our profound purpose in this world. So hello, Elena, how are you doing over there down in Brighton?
Yeah, hi. It is very bright day today in Brighton. And we also should be bright, yes, and share the knowledge which we get. As Jesus told that when you light the candle, you don't put it under the table, but you put it on the table to shine the world. And I feel the same. I'm very excited about the knowledge which I learned from my mentor, Bob Proctor. And since then, I think that my awareness increased so much that I would like to help other people to also to wake up from that hypnotic state in which most people live without even knowing that.
Yeah, it's so true. We walk around in this subconscious haze, as it were, and there's nothing wrong with that in the respect that if we could get our subconscious to work for us properly, then we can actually be more conscious with our subconscious decisions. And what's happening is our subconscious is triggering from these conditions, and we're not actually living a conscious life. We're actually just going through life subconsciously. And a good example of that is when you're driving somewhere, really brilliant example, and you just go into a massive daydream or a massive thought about something, and half an hour later you've arrived at your destination. You go, how did I do that? How did I end up here? That's how we're going through our lives. So the science tells us 95% of our life is through subconscious actions. So this is how we've been conditioned. This is how we work. But when you break past that and you realize this is an old habit and I'm doing this again, why am I doing this again? Getting deeper inside of yourself to realize that you're doing this whole thing of going through this conditioning, then that opens up the world to a bigger place for you. And it helps you to dive a little bit deeper inside, which is why I say journey inwards, succeed outwards. Because when you journey inwards, you realize, actually, this is what I want. When you start to do things that you want. But what happens is the conditioning and what you think other people think of you, you're worried about that. Oh, if I do that, what are they going to think of me? And what do you think about being conditioned by your peers as well? That's a big aspect of it as well, worrying about what people think, don't you think?
Yeah, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up now. Just wake up and learn about yourself. We study so much in school and universities. We can have so much degrees, but we never study about ourselves, who we really are and what is our genius, because everybody is so unique and we have unique talents and gifts. And the biggest subject which we have to study is us, ourselves, right? And it is time to wake up and discover that everyone has a huge potential. And when you find out who you truly are, that you are much bigger than you were told about yourself and what you believe about yourself. Because what you believe is true about yourself, this is the results which you get. We cannot get any different results if we don't change our self-image, how we see ourselves, because self-image dictates everything in your life. It dictates the way you speak, it dictates the way you dress, the way you meet people, everything. So when we understand that there are some programs which are running in our subconscious mind on autopilot, and this mental activity happens before we even think, and that's why 95% people don't think. Only 2% people think, 3% think that they think, and 95% would rather die than think. So thinking is not mental activity, and most people just live in that loop, the same thoughts every day, the same feelings, the same action, and the same results. And they don't know why the same situations happen again and again, why they cannot improve their results. So
It's,
it's time to wake up.
yeah, time to wake up. Definitely. It's really sad when you think about it really deeply. And you can do this for yourself right now. Do this for yourself right now. So if you're listening in, do this. But just put your hands on your heart and think of something really joyful. Just think of something really joyful, something that made you really feel, oh, and just feel that feeling inside of your heart grow and come through your body. Keep thinking, keep focusing on that. Negative thoughts will come in going, why am I following this guy? But don't worry about that. Just think of the joyful moment. Just think of the joyful moment and just feel that beautiful energy coming through your body. Now, think of something that you feel or perceive is coming around the corner. Debt, someone knocking on the door to take some money from you, or you're worried about what your partner's going to think. Just think of those just for a few seconds. Can you feel that all shrinking inside of you? So go back to the joyful moment. We want to be joyful, right? Go back to the joyful moment and think, and that energy inside of you from your heart is boundless. It's a boundless energy, but we don't tap into that as human beings. What we do, we focus on the outside world thinking, oh, this is bad coming in. This is bad coming in. This is bad. When we tap into this boundless energy, it is incredible and it absolutely changes your life. If you look at the heart, the actual physicality of the heart is not powerful enough to pump the blood around your body. It's not powerful enough. You can't get it through all the capillaries and everything like that. So it's actually energy that helps you to pump everything around the body. And when we don't breathe deeply enough as well, we don't get enough oxygen into the body, which helps to oxygenate all the cells. So in fact, that's a carbon deficiency when we're not breathing deeply enough, believe it or not, because you need carbon dioxide in your system for the red blood cells to take the oxygen to every mitochondria in your body to deliver oxygen to that. And if there's not enough carbon dioxide, i.e. you're not breathing in and out deeply enough, it won't give you the energy. So therefore, your subconscious will go, oh, I can't be bothered with this. I'm going to carry on with what I'm doing, which is why you trudge through life. It's a physicality as well as a mental mindset. So when you start to really focus on the mind-body connection with yourself, that's when you start to open up these doors, because otherwise you're just going to carry on doing the same thing. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Get up, go to work, get home, have your dinner, go to bed, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. And you don't have to live like that. None of us have to live like that. And we're not designed to live like that, because once we put this energy, this joyful energy into our heart, we actually go into the field a little bit deeper, and that actually goes into our lives. So we create our lives through our mental faculties, how our mindset is. We create it. So if you're thinking in these deep ways of thinking, oh, this always happens to me, this is going to happen to me again, then it's going to happen to you again. It's obvious. But if you think, okay, I'm in this joyful moment, I want more joyful moments. I am in joy now. Not I'm thinking about being joyful. I am in joy now. It's a powerful affirmation. Joy will come to you and you'll have a joyful time. You'll resonate more with joyful people around you. And this is the mindset that Elena and we're working towards, and we're going to be putting workshops in the future, one-day workshops down in Brighton to start off with, hopefully all over the UK and possibly in America, to help you get past these roadblocks, to get past these things that are holding you back and stopping you living the life that you want. Isn't that true?
Yes, because there is a connection between our thoughts and our results. And our thoughts is what we choose consciously, right? So when we learn to choose our thoughts consciously, this is how the change in our results will happen. Because if we just automatically continue thinking the same things, we will get the same. And as Peter said, that we create electromagnetic field. Our heart creates that field, and we get in certain frequency. Everything exists already in different frequency, and depending on which thoughts we have, we create those waves, and we attract everything according to the channel we are, according to energy which we send, we receive the same energy. So if we start changing the thoughts and be aware of what those negative thoughts we have, and we just, when we become aware, we just can change them quickly. We can create autoresponder and work on certain thought, that if we don't like certain thought and we know that it comes again and again and we feel bad when this thought come, it is up to us. We can create autoresponder and decide that if every time this thought comes, I will start thinking this one opposite thought, and this
Mm.
is just a habit. This is what we can start consciously do, and you will see how things start change. So it is all about the energy which we are, and about making conscious choice about what you think every day, what you do every day, and connect to bigger picture of yourself, because you are much bigger than you even can think about.
It's very true. And I'll give you a very simple example of how I did this in my life. Very simple example. We spend a bit when the sun shines in England, which is sometimes a bit intermittent, but hey, who can control the weather? Some people can, but anyway, we got a garden out there. We like spending time in the garden, and I always thought, well, I want a beautiful garden. And you always think, well, okay, I'll hire somebody, get some money together, hire somebody, get them to come in and start to put the garden together how we want it. And I thought, well, hang on a minute, why can't I do that? There's certain things I can't do, so we've had some trellis put up, but building up a little rockery, putting some horticultural grit down, getting some alpine flowers, building up beds up the end, so we're growing our own food, vegetables, and soft fruits up the end of the garden. We've got a beautiful sitting place now that I put the patio down. I'd never be able to do any of this when I was a rock musician. I was thinking, no, I'm a musician, I'll pay somebody to do this. But then when you put your own energy into something that you want to create, it is far more beautiful than you paying somebody else and getting them to create it for you. So it comes from you. That creation comes from you. It comes from we call it the lower danjon in my Ki Gong practice. Your power, your passion, and your creativity comes from your lower danjon, your gut, where your gut is. It's a powerful thing. So if you want to create something, doesn't matter if you mess up at first. Yeah, the garden was a complete mess at the beginning, and I slowly put it together, and my wife got involved as well, and we're slowly putting it together. And now people walk around into the garden and go, wow, look at this. And it took a bit of time, because the time is cyclical anyway. It's not really linear. So I was thinking, I want to sit in a beautiful garden. Now I do every day. Go out there and sit when it's a beautiful day, I sit out there in a beautiful garden. I created it. That's what I created. So we can do this, but it's you having the wrong perception about how you live your life. And I feel one of the biggest things that I got over was what I would call your inner child, the inner you, the one that's been repressed. I mean, I had a beautiful childhood up to the age of 10. It was idyllic, really. And that all got ripped away from me. But there was this beautiful feeling inside of me that I had, luckily, from 0 to 10, even though I had a lot of illness and my mother had to look after me a lot. That was all ripped out of me. So I lost contact with this inner child, the way that I was feeling as a human being. And then I did my Ki Gong training to reconnect back with this inner child, which is what we're going to be doing in our workshops, to come back and meeting your inner child again and forgiving yourself for ignoring your inner child all this time, because it's that powerful creation, that imagination that we get crushed when we're children, that imagination and that creativity that creates this world. And then you connect more deeply with it. Then I can go and sit in the garden now, and I have all the birds coming into the bird cages, the bird feeders, all the squirrels running around, upsetting everybody else, the big magpies and the crows and all the other birds coming in. And I'm going, I'm part of all of this. I'm just sitting and part of this whole beautiful field that's going on around me. And it's harmonious until something comes in and tries to catch something else, like a cat or whatever. But then that's part of nature. We realize that that's been and gone quickly. What happens with human beings when something bad happens, we hold on to it. It's like when when our ancestors, which is where our autonomic, our parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system came in, we used to run from the tigers. And we used to come back quickly, like a gazelle. When it's chased by a tiger or a lion, it comes back very quickly to its parasympathetic nervous state, and it's calm and cool and eating again. Us, we had that trauma, and we still haven't learned to control our mindset and our emotions. We carry that all through our lives, and we don't realize we're carrying that. So, and that stops us connecting with our inner child, stops us connecting with our creativity, stops us connecting with our beautiful inner love that we have. We have unconditional love inside of us, and we need to find that. So yes, definitely, we're on the same page, Elena.
Yes, yes, and really, it is good to share with people and help them to create their own self-image, because
Yeah,
self-image which we had before, it was built by our parents, by our teachers, people who didn't know anything about us and our potential. And now it is time to create your self-image and to choose who you really want to be and come from your big goal in life that you really want to achieve and become that person now.
definitely. You got to keep working on yourself, keep going with it, keep making sure that you're working well with yourself and that you're choosing what you want, not what's being chosen for you. Choosing what you want, not what's being chosen for you. And you think, oh, no, it's impossible. You can't do that. Yes, you can. It takes time sometimes, but the only reason it takes time is because we think it takes time. So if you think, well, this is happening now, make it happen now, and then let the universe do its magical work to bring that to you. Because when you allow the universe when you open yourself up and you allow the universe to do it, it might have to put things in place for you to actually experience that. It's like the universe put things in place when you're thinking, oh, I can't do that. uh, good days are coming tomorrow. Good days are always coming tomorrow. So you'll be sitting there for the rest of your life thinking, well, it's coming tomorrow. And that's what a friend said to me about my Bright Beings Academy. He said, well, I'm nearly there. I'm nearly there. It's getting well. You know, I've got members and blah, blah, blah. And he said to me at the end of the conversation, he said, you know what, Peter, you said 4 times, you're nearly there. You're nearly there. You're nearly there. He said, you're there. Look at what you're doing. You're there. And I went, wow, yeah, of course I'm there. I've done it. I've been there. I've got the t-shirt and it's there. And it was that mindset of stopping it from growing, thinking, yeah, nearly, 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 or it's going to happen tomorrow, it's going to happen tomorrow, going to happen tomorrow. No, it's happening now. And if it's not directly in your consciousness right now, it means the universe is putting it into play. But you have to keep that thought inside of yourself all the time. Keep going with that thought. And it's relentless. You're feeling in your heart, you're relentless. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. But it's not going to happen. This is happening now. This is happening now. I'm in it. I'm in joy now. I'm enjoying now. And that's how we got to be. We're so distracted with targets in the future and all these other things. It's like, well, no, say now. It's happening now, right now. I feel the love for universe now. Universe is working in my favor now, not tomorrow, not a week's time, not in a month's time. So yes, it's that whole mindset that we've got to really start to change. So yes. Any
Yes.
last thoughts, Elena? Any last thoughts?
Yeah, so we become who we are today, not tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. And we get in life not what we want, but who we become. So let's create that new self-image of person we want to become and start thinking, feeling, and acting as that person now. This is the time.
Right now, yeah. So we're going to be doing this regularly. We're doing a YouTube live. So please do put your questions in for us if you've got any issues or things that you want us to answer. And we're going to be doing a workshop in Brighton very soon. So watch out for that. Either on my channel or Elena's channel, you can catch us up with that. And I'll be putting a landing page up very soon for the workshop that we're going to be doing in Brighton, which will be a day's workshop for you to find your profound purpose, to connect with the inner child, get rid of all these blockages. They're difficult. They can be stubborn, but you can do it quickly. So some people, I needed help with it. Elena needed help with it. If you need help with it, we're here because we've done it. We've had the experience, and we're going to be doing it. So Give you all a virtual hug out there, and we'll be in contact very soon. Till next time. Be
See
well and
you.
keep